But it's true. I'm just saying, in this way, North America, and I'm not going to sit here and act like Europe's better than North America. That's insane. You know me, I'm a big North America guy, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hoping that this episode
strong
of our
emphasis
podcast
on the second word in that statement there.
Listen, I'm hoping this episode of our podcast will bring our two countries back together. It's been a tough few months for Canada-U.S. relations, and
months. I would say we're approaching a year since someone was elected, and the big
we can't start off this way. It's too political. This is in my mind a great way to bridge the gap, because there are two Thanksgivings, Noel. And who's to say which one is better? Which one is the real one?
The correct one is the Canadian Thanksgiving.
If you like football. I don't know.
You want that day off just to watch a full day football. It is stupid to have Thanksgiving on a Thursday.
Whoa, you are coming in very hot here.
Thanksgiving is the first Monday.
Oh, yeah, Monday.
The
that makes a
second
Monday of
Monday of every October. That's just the way it works.
No.
As someone who was born on Canadian Thanksgiving, I'm going to be strongly in favor of Canadian Thanksgiving over American Thanksgiving. I get my birthday with turkey once every 4 years, and it's fantastic.
You can have your birthday turkey anyway. My family used to have a thing where it was like, for your birthday, whatever you want, we can pick whatever restaurant you want to go to. And when I was a teenager, I was like, you know what I want? Second Thanksgiving dinner. Give me more turkey. My grandma would bake a whole fucking turkey dinner just for my birthday. Like mere weeks after.
Yeah, we are both October birthdays. It is true. Yeah. So we both like to celebrate
double turkey.
The same time
it's delicious.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong.
So start celebrating American Thanksgiving, and you can have turkey twice as well. Again on Christmas.
I have done that in the past.
Thrice turkey.
I once made a full turkey for American Thanksgiving.
So, see, we're already getting
for
closer.
4 people, and then 3 of those people threw up because they ate too much turkey.
I mean, there it is. We're bridging the gap. It started out rocky, but we're bridging the gap, and that's why we're here today. Welcome to Bad Movies and Beer. I'm Cooper.
And I'm Nolan.
And today we are discussing a movie that personally I have wanted to watch and talk about ever since before we started this podcast. You brought this to my attention, or one of our mutual friends, maybe. We can't really recall who did. It was a long time ago.
This might have been a long-time friend. Luke once brought this to us, I think.
We think. And you know what? God bless him, because we are discussing today a holiday classic. I think it should be considered one. Thankskilling.
Something that you should bring and watch with your family every October or November, depending on which country you live
both.
in. Yeah, you can watch it
You
twice.
could revisit this. You know what? It won't take long. It's a breezy movie. 66 minutes with credits.
You can watch this well full of turkey and not fall asleep before that tryptophan or whatever gets in your system, right? Like, I think this is one of those that you can make it through no matter how much turkey you've eaten, and you're going to be able to watch this motherfucker.
This flew by, which is ironic because the turkey is a flightless bird.
You son of a bitch.
What?
I like what you've done there. You're right. I am surprised at how quick this is. Usually we don't give...
I famously shit on movies who can't make it to like at least 80 minutes, and this is well under that.
66 minutes is very small, but as the cover of this motherfucker says, it is claimed to be...
boobs in the first second?
Well, that's on the cover, apparently. And in the movie, by the way. But it is apparently the best movie made for $3,500 ever.
I believe that.
It might be. If that is the cost of this movie, nobody got paid to fucking make it.
Well, how much do you need to pay these people? I mean, listen.
There had to be some time put into this.
They're being paid an exposure.
The editor of this spent a lot of hours, I think, to make this a palatable,
palatable might be the highest praise anyone has given this movie.
Yeah, this is like trying to cook a turkey and not cooking it too long. The editor did enough for this to make it so it was still a bit juicy.
Oh, I love that metaphor. That's great shit. And I am also, again, so excited to talk about this. But before we cover all of the insane, totally unbelievable things that happen within this small, like, hour-long window, as always, we have paired the movie up with a beer. And this one, again, just a slam dunk. What are we drinking today, Noel?
Yeah, this one is a walk in the park for connection. We're going to be talking about the movie Thankskilling, all about a killer turkey. We today are drinking a beer from the Turkey Shoot Brewing Company. We're drinking the Lake Simcoe Lagered Ale.
All right.
Man, Turkey Shoot has to be the easiest connection to this motherfucking movie. I can't believe there's a brewery in Ontario named after turkey shooting.
Sure, and they have like a cartoon turkey logo here who looks slightly, not nearly as menacing as the homicidal turkey that kills college kids in this movie, but he's decently menacing.
It's reasonably close facsimile. It is a turkey holding a gun, which the main character of our movie does. And
that's true, but do you see what this one's shooting?
It's shooting hops, at least, which is kind of a fun beer connection. This brewery is out of Georgina, Ontario.
I have no fucking idea where that is.
It's a little bit north, not too north. The two people who made it are from like small towns. They met in Etobicoke, I think, and started home brewing. They were like living in Toronto together and then decided to open the first brewery in Georgina. So they took their like home brewing love and created a craft brewery. I think it's only been around for like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. 2021, I think, is when it came. They're really into supporting local. They said 100% of the hops that are used in their beers are Ontario hops.
Okay.
So that has me intrigued because I have had beers that used homegrown or local hops before that I have been hit or miss on. Some are really good. Others are not. Some of the best hop varieties come from abroad. So I'm hoping that this is really good. It is a lagered ale. So
it says here a take on a refreshing German classic.
Okay.
Clean, crisp, made with 100% Ontario hops.
I'm looking forward to trying it. It should be pretty smooth drinking. I actually don't think it'll have a strong hop flavor.
Great.
So it should be sort of like a refreshing, crushable everyday ale.
I hope so, because as you know, I hate IPAs. I'm on the record with that here in season 6.
You can't go back to that. You can't go back to that. Yeah.
You know me.
I've noticed that the beer selection this season has moved away from IPAs because you're not quite willing to admit what's happening to you.
We had an IPA in literally our first episode of the season.
Yeah.
The Fog, we drank that IPA from fucking Bickford Brewing.
That's fair, and you probably like that more than you'd like to admit.
Well, I can't say that that's true or not. Anyway, why don't we get into this one? I'm excited to try this.
Yeah, let's crack it open. I'd love to try this. I'm excited to try the stuff from Turkey Shoot. They had a broad array of stuff on their website. Looks like a lot of cool varieties. I'm thinking this is going to be pretty tasty.
Let's find out. Well, we begin in the year 1621. The olden days is what this title card says. Moments after the very first Thanksgiving, a topless pilgrim woman is running through the woods. So they were absolutely right on about that boobs in the first second thing. It's just a big greeting you right away.
Gobble, gobble.
There you
how
go.
we're great.
Yeah, man. I have no idea why this lady is topless, but it doesn't really matter. What does matter is that she's being chased by something, and it catches her after she trips over the most obvious rock in the entire forest. It might be the only rock in the entire forest, but she finds it and trips on it, and when she does, we finally see who or what is after her. It's a rubber turkey who tells her, "Nice bitch," for killing her with an old-timey axe. We are off and running here.
I can only assume that the cost of cloth to like cover yourself was expensive in the 1620s. So
she clothed everywhere else except her boobs. That is completely false.
It's expensive to get enough cloth to cover yourself fully. So you leave out the parts that don't need protecting in the same way, I guess. This turkey has an attitude and a deep voice and is willing to kill. We transition from this early titillage and murder to some pretty sweet graphics and title
come on. These are the lowest budget credits you will ever see in your life.
There's no real names in them. Everyone has a stage name pretty much. There might be a couple at the start, but they just keep getting more ridiculous.
Shades of the Invisible Maniac, which I am mentioning again. It's not the first time this season I've mentioned that.
No. This one has a little bit of vibes of things we've watched in the past. I'm getting a little bit of Attack of the Beast creatures based on the...
Ooh, let's hope this goes better than that. You're not a huge fan of that one.
Just the cinematography on this bad boy, right? Like we get shots from Turkey Vision, which is like this like low shot with like neon lights that just changes the aperture on it. I don't know, but that reminded me of that movie for sure. Although we transition from the title card into what looks like a mid-2000s era like college campus.
Yeah, man, in the streets of Anytown, USA. I don't know what this college is called, but it is absolutely full of stereotypes. There's Billy, the fat party animal, who is super excited for Thanksgiving break. In fact, he rips his shirt off in a move he stole from you, I think. Then there's Johnny, the hunky quarterback, who all the ladies want to get with. There's Darren, the nerd, and then two ladies who are, of course, a slut and a prude. I didn't actually catch their names, as one of them is open for business and the other one is like chastising her for being open for business.
It is really hard to actually grab their names here. Billy, the like larger guy who tears his shirt off, which is my move, you're right, is the only one I kind of caught early. We find out Johnny, the quarterback, and then we do get the nerdish guy. They are really playing up these stereotypes hard, so much so that it is like cringeworthy for sure.
Yeah, this is basically the Scooby-Doo gang come to life, only if Scooby-Doo were a nerd instead of a dog. That was my read on it. You don't think so?
You think Darren is the Scooby-Doo of this crew?
He kind of has to be by default. That Billy guy even kind of looks like a fat Shaggy.
You're not wrong. That is kind of an apt comparison to this. They've taken the Scooby-Doo kind of formula and put it into a turkey slasher.
You're not wrong. And after a weird scene with some grizzled old hermit, we get a close look at these college kids as they pile into a car and head somewhere while sharing the things they're thankful for. Some of these are oddly sentimental, sons lamenting lost time with fathers or just lost fathers. And then there's Darren, who's mostly thankful for this trip.
I'm gonna have sex with someone in this car. Yeah, for once, you know, it's not gonna be just me by myself. I'm gonna be the one doing the sexing.
Jesus Christ, dude is more inappropriate than a John Benet Ramsey metaphor, which we also get.
Oh boy,
we also get one of those.
Two. They play that one back 3 times, and it is rough. It also dates this motherfucker, right? Like, if you watch this movie and you have no idea what that is, it's not going to land very effectively. The nerd character is to the extreme.
They all are.
He seems almost like the prophetic old man in this. Like, he's the one who has to fill in all the gaps. Although we do have that with the hermit we saw.
Hermit be a prophetic old man? He
is
old.
But the hermit doesn't tell us about what's coming in the future. This nerd knows everything about this killer turkey. In fact, he's about to tell the whole car about this story.
Well, not yet. He meets them at the campsite. They end up campsite. I use that term very loosely. But we do get a look at that old hermit whose dog, unfortunately, decides to piss all over a small totem pole, which is marking the burial site of a certain homicidal turkey. It quickly rises from the earth and, after continuing to get pissed on for a few minutes because comedy, kills the dog. There's nothing funny about that. But if it's laughs you're looking for, can I interest you in a quick stop at the prude's dad's house?
Oh, goodness. This is all bad. The turkey, after it gets pissed on, literally says, I'm pissed before killing the dog. There are so many puns in this movie that it is ridiculous. We do transition to the one girl's house, the prude's house, and her dad is the sheriff. He takes a sip of his coffee and says, wow, this tastes like shit. And apparently what is his second wife tells him it is shit, and we get a shot of crap inside of a coffee pot.
Yeah, she wants a divorce is the TLDR of that one.
What a disgusting way to declare that to your partner. I'm guessing that shitting in each other's mouths or on each other's chests was not a part of their love language.
Not theirs, but the turkey will fire that off later.
Damn.
Yeah. Now, believe it or not, the college kid's car breaks down, but since they've already got tents and beer, they decide to just party there. After all, there's worse places to be. Or are there? No, it turns out there aren't, as Darren finds a sign on the ground that reveals exactly where they've broken down. Crawburg. You know, that legendary town of pilgrim lore. Have you not seen the weird animation sequence that explains the story of Thankskilling?
I will say that was unexpected in this movie. The animations that were put in here to help tell part of the story. There's throughout, they add quite a bit of animation, more so than I would expect for the budget. Someone who did this was reasonably talented.
That is the highest praise you can assign, I think.
Reasonably talented, yeah.
There it is.
Someone was adequate at doing their job on this. I would like you to explain the story behind where the Thankskilling turkey comes from.
Oh, it's basically racism. The Europeans showed up and they slaughtered the indigenous and stole their land and pissed off a turkey.
It was particularly one pilgrim was an asshole to the wrong indigenous person. And that indigenous person created the killer turkey through some kind of weird necromancy. This person is a long-lost relative of our quarterback, Johnny.
Ooh, that's bad luck for Johnny.
Same name here, same name. And so because of Johnny's old relatives, we now have a killer turkey that's been on the loose since 21.
Well, no, it hasn't been on the loose. It's been buried. It's that dog who pissed on its grave
that brought it back to life. Well,
that's just bad luck.
That is bad luck. But it comes back, I think, every so often. This thing has been like killing and then hibernating, killing and hibernating for a good 500 years now.
Much like those creatures in Alone in the Dark that we watched a couple months ago. No.
That was 10,000 years ago, I think. I don't know.
Right, I'm sorry. Something like that.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, after Darren tells this story and spoils the entire movie, and also drops the title in for good measure, we pretty much go right into the action. First, that old hermit stumbles upon the turkey and curses the heavens after a terrible axe pun. Then that prude girl goes to check in with her father, who you just mentioned is the town sheriff, only to hear some strange noises that thoroughly freak her out. She tries to stay calm, telling herself that
there's no such thing as an evil turkey. There's no such thing as an evil turkey. There's
no such thing as an evil turkey. Oh, wait, I lied.
It's the turkey, of course, but he can't get his axe up, so she manages to get away. Luckily, she'll have absolutely no trouble convincing her friends that the stories were true and they should just get the fuck out of there, right?
Yeah, if only. The people at the camp clearly don't believe her, and they laugh at her, thinking that this is all bullshit. The nerd is even sort of like making fun of her.
Yeah, I made that story up. Of course,
yeah, come on. But she decides that she's going to bed. She heads to the tent first, and we get some bad comedy about the guys who are like joking about trying to get in the tent. The like floozy-ish woman suggests that the quarterback should go to the tent with her, but instead she heads off and sleeps in the tent with the other lady.
His loss.
Okay, that's fair. I mean,
you agree with me? Yes.
Not really. I wasn't really into either of them.
Well, that makes one of us. Yeah. So, after a shockingly sexless night, Billy wakes up to find that grizzled old hermit like 6 inches away from his face. The hermit warns them all about the killer turkey and points out some telltale droppings on Billy's chest as proof that he's telling the truth. I was waiting for a Cleveland Screamer pun, but we didn't get it. Wasn't too bad. Anyway.
That would have worked out because there was quite a lot of turkey shit on his chest. And as we find out, that turkey is not afraid to teens.
It's true. Yeah, he's not. We were debating what this turkey shit looked like. You said marshmallows painted red?
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. Like
I'm leaning towards chopped up hot dogs. I think that's more my thing. It's not turkey shit, though. I'm sure turkey shit does not look like this.
No, they did not have a large budget for effects and makeup. Although I will say, as we get later in this, I was pleasantly surprised by some of the gore they achieved.
There were a couple, yes, but regardless of the quality of these effects, this is at least enough to convince Billy that there is in fact a killer turkey after them, and he throws his support behind the prude in our next scene. And speaking of getting behind things, how about this guy who sees a turkey on the side of the road and tries to pick it up hitchhiker style?
Holy
fuck.
What was he trying to do? Out of nowhere.
It really was.
So we have the teens, and then we transition to another guy driving down the road. He kind of looks like one of the characters, so I'm wondering if it's a relative. Yeah, he
Darren's
looks
dad?
like Darren's dad. He opens the door, and he says, gas, ass, or grass? Isn't that?
No one rides for free.
Yeah, so the turkey says it doesn't have any money, and then approaches the car door with its ass forward.
Yeah, it chooses ass.
The turkey chooses ass, so it says you can f me for a ride. The guy...
I believe the turkey says, I'll take some ass.
Okay. So the guy...
Maybe a mixed message
The guy seems to be into it, so he unzips his pants, ready to f a turkey.
Yeah, he's going to f that turkey.
He's going to f a turkey that's talking to him. Not concerned at all. But while this is going on, the turkey pulls a gun on him.
Yeah, he whips it out, so to speak.
And then the guy decides to call his daughter in this compromised situation and
Any last words, man?
Yeah, I guess so. He tells his daughter that he loves her and to tell mom I love you. And then the turkey blows his head off while his dick is out, like ready to f it.
Yeah.
This is
when you put it like that, it sounds terrible.
This is out of nowhere. This is a crazy scene.
It's very strange. You and I were kind of mouths agape, just looking at each other like, what the fuck? And this guy gets it good. Shotgun blast to the face while he's on the phone with his daughter. But that's nothing compared to what the turkey does to Johnny's parents in the next scene. It pops up and slits his dad's throat just when Johnny was finally connecting with him, and he sprints back into the house to find his mother equally murdered. It took her eyes, Noel. I can't imagine a worse violation for a lady in this movie.
There's no chance until we transition to the promiscuous woman. She's found a man who's willing to have sex with her because she pulls him into her bedroom, telling him that it's okay, my parents don't mind if they hear us f***ing. And we hear her f***ing.
Progressive. They're progressive.
We hear her f***ing.
We do, and we see a little bit too.
Yeah, they open the door and we see her getting plowed from behind. The guy is doing it and we're getting a bit of moaning until the turkey enters the room. And how does this go?
Well, he immediately kills that dude, and when she's no longer getting nailed, that promiscuous lady, as you put it, assumes the dude finished prematurely, but the truth is something much, much worse, and it'll get even worse from there. Why don't you walk us through the rest of the scene, Noel?
Oh, Jesus Christ. So we get a shot of the woman upset that the other guy had finished prematurely, but still in the doggy position. We're going to call it the turkey position now because...
Oh, no.
We get a shot of her face as a puppet comes up behind her and has one, claw up and is thrusting and making noises. She says it feels weird or different, but also doesn't stop it from continuing as the turkey finishes inside her.
You just got stuffed!
And then breaks her neck.
Oh, yeah, man. This, I personally can't imagine a movie where puppets and humans have sex. I'd never own something like that. What about you? Did you ever own a movie like that? Sounds gross
only
to me.
because you gifted it to me.
What are you talking about?
If you haven't heard our mid-season special from I don't remember
Season 2, I think. Yeah. Happy Birthday to Me.
Let
where
Your
we
Puppets
presented
Come.
the gifts. Oh,
Yeah.
that was a bonus episode.
Yeah.
You forced me to watch it. I was uncomfortable. Now, this girl's friends race over to her place, too late to save her from a fate worse than death. But now, more sure than ever that they are in fact being hunted by an intelligent, homicidal turkey, they decide to head over to the prude's dad's house to try to find a way to stop it in his many, many books. Guy's got a deep library. Unfortunately, the turkey is one step ahead of them, though, as it arrives at the sheriff's door to launch us into what is a truly unbelievable sequence, and one that I am so, so glad I got to see.
So we transition over, and the sheriff is getting ready for the ball and has dressed in a turkey costume. Greets the turkey at the door. They have a conversation where the sheriff decides that the turkey is a little person.
Doesn't the turkey say he's a little person? Or
No, the sheriff's just like,
Okay.
I didn't know my daughter had any little person friends, and invites the turkey in. The turkey is successfully disguised because it's wearing the mustache and glasses. Classic disguise. And the sheriff's kind of weirding out the turkey with his conversation, and the turkey was actually about to leave until the sheriff calls him an odd duck.
Yeah, this actually, I should point out, no part of this is even the smallest bit believable. They have gone so far into absurdity here. And I will admit, I am loving every second of it. But I'll tell you my favorite part is during this conversation when the turkey, who, like you said, is pretending to be a midget, his words, not mine, drops an F-bomb at the sheriff's table. This guy asks if he just cursed, and the turkey plays it off as the sheriff being sizist. What, a midget can't say fuck? He can kill a fucking sheriff, that's for sure.
When he doesn't just murder him, we get a little bit of Buffalo Bill-ish in here.
Not Buffalo Bill, it's Hannibal Lecter, as when the kids arrive at the sheriff's house, and his daughter knocks on the door, which we both agreed was fucking weird, but whatever.
Yeah, you don't knock on your own goddamn house's door.
It's very strange.
Yeah.
It's not her father who answers, but instead the turkey wearing her dad's face on top of his own, Silence of the Lambs style, which I should also note, totally fools them, at least after he takes his cowboy hat off, and they think he's got a haircut, that's all.
They were leaning into absurdity in this movie, but when the turkey appears wearing the sheriff's sewn together face and everyone believes it, they have pushed this thing so far out of level that it is out of control. Is it too
far, though? Because I'm still here for it.
It is to the absurd that they are now laughing at themselves.
Oh,
like if they
were doing that before this.
Well, I think they were a lot of the time, but this is the moment for me where they're like, fuck everyone. We're just going for this. right?
Sorry,
like
this moment, not the moment when the sheriff's having a conversation with a turkey at his dinner table.
Not the moment that the woman was having sex with a turkey, or But yeah, no, it was the Hannibal Lecter turkey face where the others believed it that I was like, oh wow, we've done it. We've gone that one step.
I just love that was the straw that broke the camel's back for you. That's so fucking funny. No, this does, though, totally fool them. Like we said, makes no sense. Before long, the kids are, in fact, inside, looking through the sheriff's books to find a way to kill the turkey. But luckily, killing the turkey should just be simple math, and these guys are armed with the greatest weapon of all, a nerd who loves math. Take it away, Darren.
Oh my goodness. We actually had a book reading montage. We got some music
like that,
and
didn't you?
I liked the montage stuck in there. And of course, Darren is the one reading most of the books. They make Billy read children's books. And then we have some graphic novels in there for the jock as well. They do find the key book they need. They have to take a talisman out of the feathers of the turkey, and then the nerd has to solve some math problems before we can kill this thing. However, bad news for our friend Billy, the larger gentleman. He starts to get a little peckish as this montage ends, and he has to head to the kitchen to get a little snack.
Oh, yeah, and when he does, he figures out exactly what's going on here because he finds the sheriff's dead body, which, this is one of the parts we pointed out, decent makeup effect on this guy's face.
Yeah, the peel effect on having the skin off his face actually looked pretty good.
For $3,500.
Yeah, holy
not
shit,
terrible.
yeah.
Not terrible at all. And before long, the turkey arrives to verify Billy's suspicions, lecturing them all on the atrocities committed by the Europeans who arrived on these lands. This doesn't jibe with Johnny, though, who points out,
"But we gave your people land, and we let you have casinos. Doesn't that make up for what our ancestors did?"
It almost did, but it didn't.
and I said at the time, but I'll say it again now, you must have absolutely loved the messaging here.
Oh my goodness.
Come on.
I do not love colonialism, if that's what you're asking. No, absolutely. I think that we haven't paid our reparations.
East Coast liberal elite, Nolan.
We have not paid full reparations, absolutely. Do I think that means there should be a killer turkey murdering people? Likely not. I did have to laugh at the not quite when we were talking about the casinos and land, but of course I'm in agreement that
it's not enough, you're saying.
we should necromancy turkeys and take revenge. Yeah, absolutely.
That we should.
No.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah,
going to say. Well,
Yeah.
you know, to each their own. People celebrate Thanksgiving in different ways.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've got good news and bad news in our next couple of scenes. The good news is Darren has, in fact, figured out how to kill the turkey. But the bad news is he won't get a chance to do it until after the turkey kills Billy, which it does by luring him in by pretending to be delicious, getting eaten by him, and then bursting out of his stomach. But that bad news leads to more good news, as we get a completely insane and totally ridiculous fantasy sequence here, where Darren's memories of Billy giving him ice cream for the first time lead to some flowery footage of them prancing through a field and collapsing down in the grass in laughter until Billy disappears. And my God, man, the song choice here, just incredible.
A lot just went by, right? We had all kinds of stuff. I will say we forgot to mention that they did manage to wrestle that talisman off the turkey so that it could be killed.
Goes without saying.
So that happened, but then poor Billy getting killed here. When he ate that animated turkey and then the real turkey burst out of his stomach, it was pretty special.
Also not a terrible effect, I felt.
Pretty good. And
Yeah.
and he led out of the stomach with the shotgun. Like that turkey is still holding that gun, just like the one on our beer that we're drinking.
Brings
and it was
new
pretty
meaning
funny.
to the term turkey shoot, I'm telling you.
Absolutely. I did love this dream sequence where, it was so well done. They were sharing ice cream. They were like high-fiving, laying in fields of flowers together. Fields of gold.
Gold
just
and
looking up at the
barley.
sky. Oh my goodness. But this is going to set our nerd friend off, right? He's not going to allow this to be the end of his friend. He needs to come and get some revenge against that turkey. We got to be able to take this thing out, don't we?
Oh my God, yes. And like a nerdy Charles Bronson, he will not be satisfied until he has gotten his revenge, which he will not have to wait long to do. They corner the turkey in like a tent or something, and Darren, Johnny, and the prude all say an ancient prayer that removes the turkey's invulnerability. And with that out of the way, they'll just need to sacrifice it, which the hermit is more than willing to do as he rambles in and blasts the thing with a shotgun. Now, the kids weren't totally sure this would kill the turkey, but it does, in fact, absolutely finish him off once and for all. You know, unless it falls into some radioactive waste. What are the chances of that, though?
Oh, my God. This is so fucked up.
Yeah.
They try to tie him up. He gets out of it. He gets killed by the hermit, who eventually shows up after walking down the road for like 4 years. The turkey ends up in a fucking radioactive bin, like you suggested. It was the only way that this could continue. We're getting a little Toxic Avenger vibes here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Only even that movie didn't broadcast this quite so far in advance what was going to happen, I feel.
But so the turkey's dead now, right? Like it was tossing its salad in there, but they are able to, the hermit's able to kill it. So that's all good news.
You didn't mention, I love the hermit's quote here. He kind of like monologues about everything that's happened up to this point. It's fucking great.
Well, it looks like my work's done here. Killed that goddamn turkey and avenged the death of my dog, old Flashy.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about your dog. That must be hard to deal with.
One of these days, you kids there, you might feel what I feel when losing somebody you love, like your mother, your father, or your best friend. Well, I've got to go, kids, here. You guys have a good night.
And what I love even more is that once he leaves, they're all like, that guy kind of creeped me out, and they just completely erase all of the sentiment that he just put out there.
I just wrote down that there was way too much emphasis on loss and that this was fucking crazy over the top. I was dying because I couldn't believe that they set all of that up with what had previously happened. This gave me a pretty good chuckle, I will say.
Yeah,
how do they decide to celebrate the end of the turkey? What are they going to go do?
They're just going to go back to her place and watch some movies. It's a wholesome way to spend an evening.
We're getting a Netflix and chill scenario here. Yeah. They're going to go watch...
With Darren as a very
weird
obvious third wheel.
Yeah, oh God. Night of the Living Dead is what they're going to go put on. Because everyone after their family is murdered wants to go watch a zombie flick.
I guess so. They're doing it, though. And I'll tell you, I mentioned sentiment a minute ago. There is no shortage of sentiment in this scene here when the turkey, who did in fact fall into some radioactive waste, returns and kills Darren. As he's lying there dying, he sees Billy beckoning him to heaven, and he reaches out in just a truly heartwarming display of friendship. They really went all the way with this.
They really did. Why did the nerdy friend leave the living room to go?
Because fucking Johnny's nailing that prude on the floor of the living room.
I know. They went from like 0 to 100 here. They went and had sex on the living room floor.
I mean, he might have just been f***ing, or you don't know.
Based on her groaning, I felt like, and his groaning.
You can get that sound from f***ers.
We heard some moaning from him too. I assumed the nerd was going to go off in the bathroom, but he went to the fridge. He went to the fridge. I
mean, it's not like they asked him to leave. He could have done it right there.
He could have, but that, like, he's a respectable guy. He's not going to go off in front of the people.
He's going to go make a sandwich and get murdered by a radioactive turkey.
That is what happened. I love that the turkey starts off by throwing a meat thermometer into his ass, just like to check if it's all well done, right? Like that's what you do with a turkey. I had a good laugh at them doing that.
He's looking in the fridge. And his ass wasn't out. Let's put that out there. He's not looking in the fridge.
And it goes through his pants. It wasn't like a straw.
No, he hits him like Steven Dorff hit that professor with a throwing knife in fucking Alone in the Dark. Why do I keep mentioning that shit fucking movie?
That movie is terrible. I don't
really
bring that up. The turkey is green and glowing, obviously, because of the radioactive material.
Obviously.
I did love when his fat buddy summoned him to the afterlife. That was pretty funny. Johnny and the Prude are done now, though, and they head to the kitchen and they find...
No, just Johnny. Johnny's natural instinct is to get away from her now that he's finished. So he heads to the kitchen to check on Darren, only to get stabbed in the stomach with a turkey carver by the aforementioned radioactive turkey. Irony?
Yeah, I assume it's irony. There is a lot of fourth wall breaking at this point, too. They're kind of winking at everyone, I think, as all of this stupid shit is going down. We even get a line about someone going back for seconds. I think the turkey
always goes back for seconds.
And you're just like...
Stealing my moves.
Oh, shit. I've heard about that. So The prude walks in as the guy who has just inseminated her has been stabbed in the stomach with an electric turkey carver. She punches the turkey in the face and then pulls Johnny out so that they can hide in a shack.
Yeah, but the turkey finds them almost immediately. Luckily, though, she has got the one thing that's sure to kill this bird once and for all: fire. She spins around and tags it with a makeshift flamethrower, then smacks it into a larger fire with a big lead pipe, and, just for good measure, chomps down on a turkey leg after being congratulated by that hermit.
Well done, gal.
Yeah, I know.
I won't lie to you, this is a very quick resolution and one that I don't totally understand, but I was here for it.
I mean, in the spirit of 66 minutes, this was the right way to end this motherfucker.
Yeah.
She does eat a leg. It's too small to be a real turkey leg.
Yeah, it was more like a drumstick.
Yeah, it was like a fried chicken leg. I wish they had committed to the bigger turkey leg. We all know how giant a turkey leg is. Now I'm questioning whether the curse is over.
What do you mean? It's clearly over.
Well,
there's no way they would possibly try and have this thing return somehow.
Well, the good news is that Johnny is dead, and he was the ancestor of the pilgrim who offended the indigenous person who started the turkey on the rampage. So I'm like, this is over. And then we transition from there to
a happy family
Yes.
Sitting around the dinner table to enjoy a delicious Thanksgiving dinner. After saying grace, of course, but wouldn't you know it, while all of their heads are bowed and their eyes are closed, the turkey on the table starts moving from side to side, eventually springing up despite being thoroughly cooked and not having a head, and declaring,
"Do I smell sequel? Beyond!"
Before lunging to the camera and us fading out to a title card that says, "To be continued in space." And I don't know about you, but I could not Google this fast enough to see if it happened.
So I didn't Google it, but what it made me think of was...
Machete? Machete kills again in space?
Damn.
The long-rumored second sequel to the Machete movie?
I would love that. That's not what I thought.
It's maybe still happening, but Danny Trejo's getting real old. They got to do that quick.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
No, what it made me wonder was she definitely got knocked up. That Pilgrim's line continued, and that is why the turkey is still around.
Should have used a gravy-flavored condom.
She should have put one on, but she was too down to clown after her father's face had been ripped off and put on a turkey, and everyone else she'd loved had been killed around her.
I mean, at that point, what do you have to lose? I guess really is the thinking.
You might as well just procreate because there's nothing left to do at this point. Was there a second one when you Googled it?
Okay, so based on my quick Googling, there is a second movie, only it's not called Thankskilling 2, it's called Thankskilling 3, and apparently the plot has to do with the attempted filming and producing of a Thankskilling 2 and the turkey trying to, and I guess successfully stopping that from happening.
What?
So, like, essentially, the plot of 3 is 3 in quotes. They tried to make a second one, and the turkey tried to stop it and maybe did. So it is like a lost movie, but there is a second Thankskilling, only it is Thankskilling 3. And I realize this makes no sense as I'm saying it. And I'm starting to question whether or not I shouldn't have done better research because it sounds insane. But it also sounds hilarious and kind of on brand with everything we've seen in the last 66 minutes. So I can't rule it out.
I'm intrigued.
Very much so.
I would not in any way rule out seeing that. That's for sure.
I will say, having done a tiny bit more research in the 30 seconds between when we start talking about this and now, there is a Thankskilling 3 DVD available on Amazon. So that would lead me to believe this did actually happen. I do not see a Thankskilling 2. But yeah, man, we are into the credits, and I don't know. I don't know what to say about this. This is one of those movies that really leaves you speechless in a good way, I find. And just fucking right in line with what we're trying to do here, I feel.
Oh boy. So where did you fall on this bad boy for your ratings?
Yeah, I mean, I guess at this point we might as well just go into our ratings the way we always do this. We rate the movie on a scale of 1 to 10 2 times, 1 to 10 for how bad it is and 1 to 10 for how enjoyable. And the goal is to find movies that are a 10 out of 10 on both scales, or what we call the Crit 20. And like on principle, this almost has to be a 10, doesn't it? For how bad it is?
So this is a challenge I have with this movie.
Oh, is it the age old? Like if they're doing it on purpose, does it count as bad?
We are literally in that scenario where this is bad on purpose.
Yes. But at the same time,
what are the other movies? Like, we've run into other movies like this, and how did we fall on them?
Yeah. So the closest comparison I can think of to this is the Velocipaster.
Yes.
Which was also a very short movie. And also made on a clearly limited budget.
Yeah.
And also clearly ridiculous, and they were in on the joke. And I gave that a 10 out of 10 for how bad it was. So I would be hard-pressed not to do the same thing here. The caliber of acting, the caliber of effects, the overall plot, and just the fucking puns, man. Oh, Christ. Like, they just...
You were gobbled up by them, weren't you?
Oh, fuck. Sure, why not? Let's just steer into it. They put boobs in the first second. The opening shot of this movie is a pilgrim lady's titty.
I love that it was on the cover.
I love my enjoyment.
Yeah, hold on. Wait a minute. We're not on enjoyment yet. We're still in our bad rating here, bud.
But... like, again, on principle, I think I have to give this a 10 for how bad this was. So I'm going to do it. 10 bad for me. What did you think? Well, a pushback on that?
Yeah, this one I'm really struggling with because I did think the acting, of course, was atrocious. There was nobody in this movie who could act. The script was terrible. The length was 66 minutes, which is laughable. Of course, it flew by, unlike the turkey, right? But... I actually thought they did really well with the effects and the makeup for a $3,500 budget. I thought the editing was strong. I think this is too intentional to be a 10 bad for me.
Okay.
I think I did the same with Velocipaster. I can't remember, but I'm not sure. I think this is a 9 bad for me. I cannot give it a 10 bad. It feels weird, but it also feels right for me. I think that they knew what they were doing, and they did so much with so little that I can't call this a 10 out of 10 bad.
You know what? You've convinced me. I am going to dial it back to a 9. I think you're right. The difference between this and Velocipaster is they are steering into it so much harder here. Where at least in Velocipaster, they kind of played it with a straight face. So yeah, I gave that a 10. I think I've talked myself out of it now. You've talked me out of it. I'm going to give this a 9 for how bad this is. Okay. But the question is, how enjoyable did you find this on a scale of 1 to 10?
I thought it was well edited. I thought the music was good.
This movie is about a homicidal turkey murdering college kids. It's filled with puns and boobs. And the first thing you go to is, I thought the editing was good. Fuck, man. You know what? No. Hats off to you. Thank you for trying to bring some credibility to our silly podcast.
It moved through and transitioned well. I like the puns. I thought the fourth wall breaking was pretty hilarious. It was too short. I wanted more.
Oh,
I wanted more. But I did think it was funny, and I did think that the way that they created it was intentional. So I will definitely say I enjoyed watching this movie. It is definitely going to be a positive rating. I only gave it a 9 bad, and I think I'm only giving it a 9 enjoyable. I do think it is kind of ballsy to start your movie with tits in the first second, and then to bring none in the rest of the movie is a bit of a tease, right? Like, you're trying to promise something, even on the cover, that doesn't get delivered. In terms of a slasher, kind of horror, silly film, I feel like this could have used slightly more titillation, and I would like to see more of the turkey. Like, I felt like it could have done it. It was the heavy lifting in this film, and I felt like the actors had a bit too much screen time in comparison.
Oh, yeah, I'll agree with that. That's fair. This is so interesting to me because I made the case when we watched Velocipaster. This is very short. But I think there is a case to be made for not going much longer, lest you kind of like lose the effectiveness of the joke. If you tried to drag this out with an extra half hour of footage, this could be, you could just wear out your welcome. You wear out your welcome.
I would not be happy with the editor if this went 30 minutes longer. That's
very
fair.
Happy with the editor.
Yeah.
Like yourself, I enjoyed a lot about this. The low caliber of acting was fun to laugh at, but at the same time, the way they steered into some of these like jokes and kills and stuff was very enjoyable overall. It's maybe not fair for me to compare this to the Velocipaster, but I am in my brain and I didn't enjoy it as much as that. I also think that you said the turkey did the heavy lifting here. The turkey was maybe like one of my least favorite characters in the whole movie because he's just essentially popping up and like cussing, almost like trying to be provocative. I did love the scene with it and the sheriff. That to me, that fucking checkers game at the table.
That's pretty fun.
Where he's trying to come up with like a justifiable excuse for just how he is. Not even who he is, just how this turkey is there. That shit was hilarious. But no, when he's just popping up saying curse words and like killing, that's like my least favorite part of this. I just didn't enjoy it as much as Velocipaster. I'm not going to give it a 10. The turkey kind of grated on me a little bit. And some of the parts were like, they kind of crossed the line for me of like the tongue-in-cheek winking at the camera funny versus just like these guys kind of fucking patting themselves in the back a little too hard.
It was pretty fourth wall breaking. I felt like a lot of times they were really, really in the audience.
Or themselves. That's I think where we might have landed there. I might be a little bit too much of that. So I'm going to give this a 9 enjoyable as well. But I almost said 8. I kind of want to go 8. I'll stick with the 9 though. So 9 and 9 for me is 18. An 18 for you too. Not bad.
And an 18 for me is a really high score as well. Definitely a good recommendation. If that was our buddy Luke, then we appreciate you. If it was someone else, we appreciate you too.
I thought he wanted us to watch Demons 2. Was that not what he wanted us to watch?
He does love nuns.
Oh, good God. Is that what happens in that
yeah.
movie?
Yeah, in Demons 1. Yeah, absolutely.
All of that. All right. How'd you feel about this beer, man? Turkey Shoot Brewing.
I enjoyed it. It was interesting because it was very easy to drink, but it also had quite a bit of flavor for a lagered ale. I felt like the hops were like well balanced with the malts and something that I would like to drink again. I would love to try some other Turkey Shoot brewery. It did not have a negative experience with the Ontario grown hops either, which I think is great because I've had some of those in the past and that did not jump out at me. So
yeah, is it the ale part that kind of makes it like the way you're describing with more flavor than traditional lager?
Yes, absolutely. Okay.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. This was very drinkable, but at the same time, it kind of had a hoppier flavor than I was expecting. I could see this being a good kind of like bridge beer for people like the two of us who like, one guy likes more IPA hop heavy style, other guy likes more like clean crisp lager style, because it kind of is the best of both worlds, I feel.
Yeah, and I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that these are brewed more like an ale. So they have a lower fermenting time than a lager, but still have more of those clean flavors. So, or they're either using like ale ingredients, but they ferment similar to a lager in a longer period of time. I'm not sure, but it tends to bring a very smooth, flavorful beer.
Yeah, maybe you can ask the people the brewmasters, if you ever visit the Turkey Shoot Brewing Company.
We should try to go out to visit the Turkey Shoot Brewery. I don't think it's that far away.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued by some of their other offerings. This was not what I expected, kind of in a good way. Speaking of things that I did not expect, 2 weeks from today, we're going to be watching an audience request, our first audience request of the season. And this is a movie that I did not know about. And what I did not expect was it's a Burt Reynolds movie. And if you had told me someone was going to request a Burt Reynolds movie, I would have expected like many other things that I know he's been in, but not this. We're going to see what happens in 2 weeks' time when Burt Reynolds is Malone.
Post Malone? Is this a biopic?
Burt Reynolds?
As Post Malone?
Burt Reynolds was dead before Post Malone rose to prominence.
Okay, so that doesn't work out. I'm curious what this is going to be. What kind of movie is this?
It seems to be kind of like a Charles Bronson-esque revenge thing, or he's that man trying to live a simple life, but his past comes after him.
So this is going to be sexy mustache, kills lots of bad dudes.
I mean, how many movies does Burt Reynolds have a sexy mustache in? Pretty much just Deliverance, I think.
I've never seen Deliverance.
The rest are, fuck, that's way too good to be on our podcast.
Yeah.
No, he's going to have a mustache. I think from some production stills I've seen, he's going to have some incredible fucking outfits.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, let's see how it goes in a couple weeks. Before then, if you haven't already, please follow us on social media at the BMB Podcast on Twitter and Instagram.
Send us emails, thebmbpodcast@gmail.com.
Definitely. We're handling an audience request 2 weeks from today. We'd love to have some more. So if you have any ideas for movies you'd like us to check out, hit us up, slide into those DMs, or shoot us an email. We'll do our best to get it done here in our 6th season. Thank you for joining us today for Thankskilling. We hope to see you again in 2 weeks' time for Malone. Until then, I'm Cooper.
And I'm Nolan.
And we'll see you next time on Bad Movies and Beer.
Keep eating that dark meat.
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.